Let me tell you something, brother. It's been a long time since professional wrestler Chris Wilde has done an Unbox These video for the Unbox These playlist. So all I have to say about today's unboxing is what you're going to do when professional wrestler Chris Wilde and Eagles News Now runs wild on you. Boom. What's up, everybody? Professional wrestler Chris Wilde back with another video on the ENN podcast. And this is part of the special Unbox These playlist where I unbox various types of memorabilia from sports and entertainment. And most of it's going to be Eagles stuff or professional wrestling stuff because as a professional wrestler, I am still a professional wrestling fan. And I like to dig deep into my childhood of wrestling figure collecting. Now, if this is your first time checking out one of these videos, I got to tell you I'm not a hardcore collector, which means I don't collect everything. The guys that I collect are legends, guys I might have grew up watching, or people I might have really cool stories about. So today I am super excited about this unboxing as this figure is absolutely awesome from what it looks like. And the guy that I am unboxing is an absolute legend and icon in the professional wrestling business, and that is none other than Hollywood Hulk Hogan. That's right, if you grew up in the 80s or 90s and you love professional wrestling, most likely you were a Hulk Hogan fan. You were a Hulkamaniac. Hulkamania definitely ran wild through the 80s and 90s. Myself personally, I was a Hulkamaniac until I saw The Ultimate Warrior, and then I was a Warrior guy, and basically in the 90s, that's what it was. It was Warrior guys or Hogan guys, and then you had those kids that were Ric Flair guys, which was a little bit different. But Hulk Hogan was definitely a mainstay and a trendsetter, and he changed the wrestling business multiple times. And this figure, the Hollywood Hogan figure, is all about how he changed the wrestling business in 1996 from going to that superhero, all-American good guy that you just never saw a bad bone in, into this evil, dark, super confident, super cocky character. And he brought one of the most popular things ever in wrestling to light, being the New World Order. But before we get to that, let me just go into a brief history with my Hulk Hogan action figures. Now, obviously, the best action figures as far as wrestling goes, known to man, are the Hasbros. In the Hasbro era, were the small plastic figures that were more, not so much detailed, but were more of a cartoonish type look at the wrestlers. So, this one was my first ever Hulk Hogan action figure, and it's not the first one in the Hasbro line. As you can see, this has been played with. I think my dog chewed his arm. But again, not being a hardcore collector, this is what I have. This is from my own personal collection. And, I mean, the Hogan, just about every series for the first couple series, you had a Hogan Hasbro. And there is another one that I don't have. It's the Hogan without the shirt. But these were basic. I mean, this was how Hulk Hogan looked to children, to me, to most of the world. And then Jakks Pacific came out with a line. I only have one Jakks Pacific Hogan figure, and it's this one. Nothing real impressive about this at all, but except you can obviously tell that it's Hulk Hogan. Once I get that in the frame, of course. Bandana comes off so you can see that iconic bald head skullet, I think they call it. You can see his skullet. This one is a little bit more. This actually makes him look like a really old man, if you ask me. But it was Jakks Pacific. The Jakks Pacific figures were not all that detailed, really, at all. And this is actually one of the better Jakks figures, I got to tell you. He does have knee pads. Again, not being a hardcore collector, they're somewhere in my figure room, my office. Just didn't bring those. So now for the unboxing, this is from Mattel's Ultimate Collection, Hollywood Hulk Hogan. And again, one of the things I love about these Mattel figures, man, especially the Elites and this Ultimate Collection, is the boxing, man. The boxes are so beautiful. It's almost sucks to have to open them and take these figures out. You see the sides, super detailed. There's Hollywood Hulk Hogan's face. Now, Hollywood Hulk Hogan, for those of you that may not be wrestling fans or haven't watched in a really long time, Hollywood Hulk Hogan really tipped the scales for WCW in its war with the WWF to see who was the number one wrestling company. Now, Hogan went there in '94, was the same vanilla yellow and red Hulk that we remember from the WWF days. It just wasn't working. The wrestling audience was evolving, growing up. The ones that were now little kids were now starting to grow into adults. And just society at that time had an attitude, which WWF got their attitude era from. But Hulk Hogan and the New World Order started that. Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, of course, defected to WCW, and they acted like it was WWF defecting, like they were still part of WWF, and they said forever they had this third guy, and the third guy ended up being Hulk Hogan to join their team. It sent all of entertainment into an array because we all grew up with Hulk Hogan as the ultimate good guy, and now he was the ultimate bad guy, and renamed himself Hollywood Hulk Hogan. And these Ultimate Series Mattels are absolutely amazing. They're awesome. Basically, they're a step above the Elites. As you see in this one, you have a couple different heads that you can actually put on the figure. It comes with tons of accessories. I'm going to go ahead and get right into opening this thing with this pear knife that I find easy to open these Mattel figures. This is actually my first Ultimate Mattel that I've ever purchased. They do have a Warrior from WCW Ultimate. They have a Fiend Ultimate that was in this series. As well as a Bret Hart Ultimate figure, but with me not having, this is the first Hogan figure that I've gotten probably 10 years maybe. There we go. Let's see. Wow, and they make it. I love how they make it so you don't have to destroy the box, so you can actually keep that beautiful box. Here we go. We unbox, and you see everything is laid out. If I can get this without them falling out, everything's laid out pretty perfect in the plastic packaging. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take out the figure first. And they've got him shackled inside. Right away. Okay. Wow, super, super detailed. I mean, I talk about Jack's not being detailed. This is the polar opposite. Wow, take a look at that bad boy. Face, I mean, sculpted. It's there could be nobody else that it could be. I really love the tights, the details on those tights there with that white, blue, and black design on the back, the Hollywood. And this is actually that weight belt actually comes off that he used to beat his opponents with. This NWO weight belt. Nice little touch there. But what's really impressive on these is Hogan had some awesome boots back in the day. And here they are. Now, I know, this is hard to really show on camera, so I'm going to put up some more detailed pictures as well as I am doing this. He also has those black gloves that he wore when he was in the NWO. Again, just completely different than his red and yellow version. Now let's get into these accessories. First thing I'm pulling out is that boa that Hollywood Hogan used to wear around his neck. Not my favorite thing, but he's got another pair of hands, which if you know me, if you watch this, I could care less about that. He's got those trademark like white Oakleys that everyone used to wear back in that day. And then two different head sculpts. This one, he's probably saying, "Nobody's got a bigger hog than me, dude." And again, all of them are awesome, I think. Also, headband. which comes, you can go on or off. I don't like the Mattel headbands, though. Look how big that thing looks on his head. It really doesn't look natural to me. Anyway, then we have that NWO championship. And, of course, when he won the championship, he spray-painted NWO all over it. Beautiful, beautiful title. Big gold, one of my favorites. And then this, I think, is really cool. So it's one of the best-selling shirts in wrestling history, and that's the NWO shirt. But what makes this awesome, and I'll throw up a picture too, is that you can actually make it to how it's ripped, like Hogan ripped it. And on the back of the shirt has those, I don't know how good you guys can see that there, but it has those Hogan rips. So just an absolute amazing figure. As you can tell by the pictures, as you can tell by me showing you guys, this one is definitely one of my favorites. What an awesome line, these Marvel Ultimates. And again, just, I only get the legends or, the guys that have some kind of special meaning to me. This is more, like I said, I was more a Warrior guy than a Hulkamaniac, but you can't have a decent collection without a good Hulk Hogan. And there he is, Hollywood Hulk Hogan in the house at bar 4133. And as this video seems to be running a little bit long, I'm going to go ahead and cut it off. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you're new and you haven't subscribed and you like what you see, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, as I believe we have hit 1,500 subscribers. That's absolutely awesome. Thank you all again. And there's going to be tons of content here as we are going through a crazy offseason in the NFL and with the Philadelphia Eagles specifically. And I'm going to have more stuff just like this, as well as some other content you might not be expecting from this channel. But as always, guys, stay safe, stay healthy. Go Birds. I'll see you.
E-A-G-L-E-S Eagles! E-A-G-L-E-S Eagles!
I need Eagle Nation to stand.